I'm back. I wanted to do a quick video of what all happened during Stitchmania and what I worked on before, because we're like 2 weeks into June now and StitchCon is like a couple weeks away, which is insane, but I wanted to get on here and show what I worked on for Stitchmania, so that way after StitchCon it's not all in one video and gets super long and I forget about things. So I wanted to do a quick little video while the baby is napping right now. I figured I had a little bit of time and hopefully I can sneak in lunch and then we'll be good to go. So let's just jump into that right away. This is in no particular order. It's just kind of what I grabbed and what I stacked. So the first one that I actually happened to work on was Where There Are Bees, and this one I actually enjoyed way more. I wasn't super excited to start this, and I love how this is coming together right now. It's been really, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a believer in the whole prairie schooler thing. I've never been super drawn to the patterns, but now that I've worked on one, I'm all about it. So that is the pattern. I did switch up the colors to be, I wanted a little bit more contrast. In this, in the called for, it was a little pastel-y, and that's not necessarily what I'm usually into. So I went a little darker, but I'll show you, I might actually switch out the blue now that I've gotten a little bit of work. So I started right in the middle of that. Just hold that up so I can see. Ooh. So I started right in the middle of that, and I got the bees done and the bee. The thing that I'm struggling with is that the blue that I picked out is, it's fading into the black a little bit more. And I wanted to, obviously, I like that dark kind of royal blue color, but it's blending in a little much. So I might pull that out and go and get like another color or something so I can see it, but I'm not quite sure. I'm just kind of letting it sit for a little bit while. But yeah, so that's Where There Are Bees. That's how far I've gotten, but I just really, I don't know. It just kind of surprised, which is what Stitchmania is great for. I just kind of pulled these designers I'd never worked on before, and this was a pleasant surprise. So that was that one. Next one I have to show is Music Amongst the Trees, which that's actually surprised me. This surprised me in the other way. I didn't love working on this for some, I don't know exactly why, but I thought I was going to enjoy this a lot more. Maybe it's a little too primitive to me, but they're, I really want in a forest crew, I think it's called the big one. I've seen quite a few people do that, but it has a bunch of trees on it, and now I'm a little hesitant because I'm not loving working on this, but you know, I'll probably still buy it. I mean, that's what we do. Yeah, I don't really want it, but I'll buy it just in case. But, I mean, I'm not going to trash this or stop working on it. It's probably just not one I'm going to come back to super soon either. So that's the pattern, which I love. I really like it. So maybe I'll like it more when it all comes together. Maybe it's just because there's a lot of color changes in this one. So maybe it's just because, but I'm also doing a hade and that doesn't bother me as much. So I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't ready for what exactly I was getting into with the Rosewood Manor, but it was a little rough. And I don't even think, I tried to do like a full week on all of these, which was, I mean, some I really enjoyed. I worked on a little longer. I don't think I gave this a full week just because I was like, I'm not going to work on something like I really don't totally enjoy. All these are on 32 count. This is a linen. All of them are on 32 count even weave, except for this one. I got linen for some reason. That's not why I don't like it. I like stitching on linen just as much as even weave, but so this is the progress I have on that. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. So I didn't make it super, super far, but I started with that top vine and then I went down to that one tree. So it's super, I mean, it'll be beautiful when it's done. I just don't know why I'm not loving working on it for whatever reason. Whoops. This setup, okay. I moved us into my, kind of one of our living rooms in our front room here because we have a big picture window, and I was like, oh, it'll be great. The light will be great, which the light is really helpful when doing these videos, but ugh, it's just hard. I'm like, the way I have it set up, I can't really see. So I'm like peeking around it all the time. So yeah, so I just had like a couple birds, a squirrel, and then I started one of the bigger trees. So I'll eventually get back to it, but there are other things that I started that are a lot more fun, and yeah, I don't think this one will be coming to StitchCon with me. Let's just put it that way. That'll be staying home in my bag. Plum Street Samplers, Liberty's Welcome. This one is super cute. I just started on the border. The only thing I kind of struggled with, you'll see, but I started up in that corner there. So I did some of the border and then I started in on that sun there. Is that, like most samplers, it's kind of repetitive around the border. And so I lost a little bit of interest, but I just adore the way this looks though. This is going to be so cute when it's all done. What I am going to do, I might look at StitchCon, is that I got all of the DMC equivalent for this one. And for the grass and probably the roof, I'm going to want something variegated just to give it a little bit more interest. Because I'm like, that's a lot of room there. And on the roof to not. It'll just give it a little bit more interest. So I might look at StitchCon if they have threads or keepsakes when I go there. I'll look for a green and a blue that I like to do that part. I thought about the white, but I'm like, I don't know if I want 3 big chunks right on top of each other that are all variegated. So I thought the green and the blue might look good, but we'll see what I feel like. So that's the pattern. And this is how far I've gotten on it. So it's super, I mean, I love the colors. I love how it looks. It's going to be, it's actually going to be a lot bigger. I mean, if I can, here, let me see if I can, the fabric is, I mean, it's big. So it's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, there is that. But yeah, totally up my alley. I love the design of it. I love that it's patriotic without being too patriotic. But I mean, not like, one day I'm gonna get a cross stitch up on my wall and it's gonna be great, but well, I've like cross stitch ADD and I want to do all the things all the time. I just don't. People ask me all the time, like, what have you completed? And I'm like, nothing. And so I just show them pictures of what I'm working on, which is fun, but I don't know. We'll see. One day. I've started to tell a couple, for those of you who don't know, I cut hair. That's what I do by trade. And so I told like a couple, like, I mean, my clients, some I've known for 5-6 years easily, so we're close. So I've started to tell some people like, hey, like I just kind of dropped them, like, oh, like, what do you mean? And so one was like, I would love, and she was just like all about it. But it was super fun. That's it. She's like, what have you finished? And it was so sad to say nothing. So hopefully one of these days I'll be able to show something finished. Ooh, let me get it out while I'm talking. I have my hate is the thing I started next time, which, holy cow, you guys, for those of you who haven't done, it's a lot. It is, as I'm like working on it the whole time, I'm like, did I bite off more than I can chew? I 100% should have gone with the smaller. I don't know why I went with the bigger version, but I don't know. I don't know if, like, it's literally like when I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever finish this, but now I'm almost like 800 stitches in, which isn't that much, but at this, it kind of is. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to buy, I'm not going to buy the smaller pattern. I could, I guess, edit and kind of like make it smaller. So this is it in black and white. Don't mind my notes on the side there. It's Heaven and Earth Designs, Mother's Hug in black and white there. I kind of wanted to show you, let me see if I can catch it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. So that's it in color. So I kept like referring to it like, oh, it's beautiful in color. So this is in color, which is just a lot more pretty. I'm like, the black and white is just like, oh, what is that? So this makes a little bit more sense. To me, it looks like they're on a beach, which I'm all about the beach. Growing up in New Jersey, I grew up doing day trips all summer long to the beach. So there's just something about this that I absolutely loved. Now when you see how much, I started in the top left corner, so I am working all the way up there on this one. But yeah, just kind of reminded me of my little nugget. Okay. I think it's this way. So that's 800 stitches in. It's just background. I'm like, holy cow. And it's so, I mean, pulling back, it's just so little. Like, oh, and this fabric is all folded up, but it is absolutely gigantic. I do say I was really scared about the 25 count, and I'm doing 1/1 full cross. So I debated on doing the 10 stitch, but I just decided to go full cross with it. So I mean, I guess technically it could be moving a little bit faster if I did 10 stitch, but I don't know. Jessie Marie does stuff. I think she does a full cross on all of her haids. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm not totally crazy for doing that. So that's what I'll stick with. So yeah, it's just a bunch of background. I think I'm getting into like one of the little swirly loops, but I'm like, oh, I enjoy working on this, but knowing it's going to be so long before I even get to like the actual people in it, it's It's a little scary, but it's still fun to work on. I just have to catch myself like in the right mood, and it's only like an hour or so, and I'm done. I'm out of there. So a lot of times the way I work on like during nap time when the baby's sleeping. But yeah, I love the gridded. Although I don't know if you can see, it's like when I was starting it, I was like totally overwhelmed. I don't know why, but I was just like, oh my God, like where do I start? And picking a square. But instead of starting like in the actual like on the gray line, I started one over, which is kind of, when I'm stitching this, I just have to be mindful of that. So like on the top line, I started on the gray, and on the vertical, I started one in, which I don't know why I did. But again, by the time I noticed it, I wasn't going to be unpicking all that stuff. But I think, I mean, when it's done, it's going to be, it'll probably look like a painting, which is amazing, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm already through the last one, so this is going to be a quick little video, which I'm all about that, because probably next video is going to be after StitchCon, and I'm going to have haul, and I'm going to have a lot to talk about, and it's going to be a longer one. So this is just a quick little, hey, this is what I worked on. My last one, which I am absolutely obsessed with. I cannot put it down. Savior's Praise, Shakespeare's Peddler. Teresa is a genius, because I can't stop. Again, it's a sampler, but it's just so interesting to work on. It's not repetitive. It's just really, it's a delight. So yeah, this is what I haven't been able to put down. I will show you what happened though. When I first started on it, okay, so this is kind of what I first started on here. My dog's jumping outside and distracting me. This is what I first started in the top left corner. That's what I do with most of my stuff. So I'm like stitching, and I decided I was gonna work on the corner, and then I was gonna move across the whole top before getting in. So I was gonna do like the whole border down and vertically before working on the inside. So I had it in my Q-snaps, and I go to take it off, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know if you can see. Like, how did I end up with that much? It's like that far in. And I was like, holy cow, I don't think I'm going to have enough fabric for this, like going horizontally across. Because somehow, when I wrapped it up in my Q-snap, I gave myself like a 5-inch border there. And I panicked, and I was like, oh my God. Got out my tape measure, and when I measured, it was like, because I think it's like a little over 19 inches across, it was going to give me like a 1/2-inch border on the other side. And I'm like, there's no way. Even if I get it professionally, there's just no way. I'm not going to risk that, completing this whole thing. So I am going to unpick this, but I wanted to show you guys what I started on at first. And then I was like, oh, that's so, luckily this is only like 3 or 4 days, but it was still super sad. So instead of unpicking it and stitching the same thing right away, I was not going to do that. So instead I flipped it, and I started on the top right corner, and I'm working across the left. And I'm actually pretty far. So now I'll show you what I'm actually, how far I actually am, which is a lot farther than that. So I've gotten this far in it. So I started at top right, and I'm working, I kind of went down a little bit. This is, the great thing about this is, I'm going to move up a little bit. When you're working on it, is that it has this vine that kind of like goes all the way around. So it's really easy to catch like kind of where you are. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do that whole area in there. Right under here is where that great boat is, which is so cool. I'm just not going to, I didn't want to start it. Yeah, there you go. It's a little hard to see in the picture, but there's that awesome boat, which is just genius. Super excited about that. But instead of working down there, I decided to go up to the top. Obviously, I did not put in the year because I don't trust myself to get it. Even though I haven't been able to put this down, I don't trust myself to finish it in 2019. It'd actually be super convenient if I might just put 2020 and force myself to finish it sometime next year, because then I could just repeat the numbers there, which would be super easy. So yeah, so I did all that. I love the scissors and the little spool of thread. Stop it, that is so cute. And then I'm working my way up there. The greatest of these is love, which is so cute. And now what I've been working on most recently is there's kind of like a big planter pot. Here, I can unravel this a little bit. The big planter pot, which both of these vines that go down the whole side of it is kind of coming out of that planter. So I'm working on that big old vase thing. And then, yeah, going from there. So yeah, that's what I almost have to rip out that first thing I started on. But as you can see, much more appropriate border than all that stuff over there. So fortunately, that has to go. Sad. I haven't had to do like a big, unpick anything big like that before. And I was just so like, when I found out I did that, I was so defeated. I had to like put it away. Put it in timeout for a couple days. 'Cause I'm like, I can't even deal. That is so annoying. I am done. So yeah, that's all I worked on for Stitchmania, which was actually quite a bit for May. I was actually kind of impressed. I'm impressed at how much I've gotten done on this. This I am so excited about. It is 100% coming with me to StitchCon, and maybe like one. I'm thinking I'm only going to bring 2 for StitchCon, but 100% coming with me because it's easy to work on. It's easy to find your spot. And we'll go for there. My daughter loves this. She's going to be sad when I unpick this, which actually there's another chicken that goes over in this area there. But she always, whenever I don't work on it a whole lot when she's awake, but if I do, while she's watching a show and I have a little bit of time, she calls it bok bok because there's a chicken on it. So I'm like, I always have to be, oh yeah, mommy, it's mommy's bok bok. And I always have to show her the little chicken, but that's about to come out. But she's so cute. She always likes to look at it though. So yeah, that's all that I worked on. I knew it was going to be a fast one because it's like in May, I just worked on stuff. I haven't bought anything. Anticipating buying stuff at when I'm in Cincinnati with everybody. So yeah, that's gonna be super exciting. I'm it's a little torn with now that we went over that, we'll talk a little bit StitchCon. I'm rooming by myself because I'm introverted and I'm looking forward to 2 nights of uninterrupted sleep, and I just love my alone time. So yeah, this will be the first time that I'm away from my daughter for 2 nights in a row, which kind of freaks me out a little bit, but it'll be fine. But when I was booking the room, I was a little torn. I am, I think technically it starts Thursday afternoon. I decided originally I didn't really want to take off another whole extra day work. So I was like, oh, I'll work Thursday and drive on down because I'm only 3 hours from Cincinnati. So I was like, oh, that'll be great. Finish work, I'll get down there about 9 p.m. Then I got to thinking about it and I'm like, is it worth it to be gone and pay for like another night at a hotel if I'm not going to be, like I wouldn't go down there and stitch because it'd almost be over. I'd be tired from work. So I'm like, I don't want to pay like another $100+ just to sleep when I can just leave early in the morning on Friday and hoping to get down there about noon because I'll drop my daughter off at daycare and then I'll leave right from there. So hopefully I'll get there noonish. And then I was like, then the FOMO set in and I was like, oh my God, like people are getting there a full like day. Some are getting there 2 days earlier than me, but it'll be fine. I'll have 2.5 like full days. I don't know when exactly I'm going to leave on Sunday, but since I have a car, I can leave like kind of whenever I want. So I think that'll be fine for my first time going there. We'll see. A little bummed, but not really at the same time. So yeah, I won't get down there till like Friday afternoon. And then of course the anxiety sets in, like, are there gonna be any seats left? Like, where am I gonna sit? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like walking in, all these people are gonna have been there for a day or so, but I'm like not even worried about it. On top of this, I'm just like entering into like a really busy time. It's like part of my brain, I haven't even been able to think about StitchCon because I have a client that is getting married the Saturday after, and I'm working her wedding on site. So I just have like a lot to think about with that and getting a girl or two to come in and help me. So I just have a lot of planning. I keep thinking, I'm not in the wedding. I'm invited, I'm going to her wedding, but I'm not in or anything. But I just have all these like, I need to get in her extensions and I need to figure out when to do her trial and she's coming in next week for color. So I keep thinking about that, which is the 6th. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have StitchCon sneaking up all of a sudden. So it's kind of like, StitchCon's like, just like sneaking right in there all. And I don't know. But yeah, as you can tell, my brain is just all over the place. So I literally have StitchCon, and then I have my client's wedding, and then a few days after that, me and Abigail leave to go to see my parents in New Jersey for a week. Yeah, a week. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And I'm flying by myself with Abigail. There's just a lot. But I don't know if I forget when I did it. I don't know if my husband has been to China and back. So my husband's now back from China. So since he went to China in May, I think it was the beginning of May he went, he doesn't have the vacation time. So I was like, all right, I'll go, because with airlines, kids fly for free until they're 2. So I'm literally flying home the day before Abigail's 2nd birthday. So like getting that by the skin of my teeth, I'm getting one more free flight with her. But, which will be great. But then part of me is like, oh my God, like I'm flying an airline by myself with a 2-year-old, which she is fantastic, but still a 2-year-old. So you never know, like she might cry, but chances are she'll be fine. But it's a lot to think about. I need to pack, I need to get a suitcase. So it's gonna be a crazy few weeks, but I am super pumped to have 2 uninterrupted days just to like chill out, hopefully. I mean, with my client's wedding, like the week after StitchCon, I'm probably gonna be working while I'm in Cincinnati too, but that's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of scared. I purposely haven't been like buying any haul or anything, because I know, especially with everything going on right now, I'm going to want to shop. So I'm like super excited, and I'm gonna have my car. So if anybody wants to go to Keepsakes with me, absolutely, we are totally gonna go, and I am pumped for it. And then oh, that's my dishwasher. I thought it was my daughter waking up. So yes, definitely gonna go to Keepsakes, and definitely the trunk shows that are there. That's going to be dangerous too. So I anticipate on doing some shopping. Not too much, but definitely it's happening, and I'm excited. So yeah, so everybody that is going to StitchCon, I cannot wait to meet everybody. I'm like so excited. So excited. But yeah, so yeah, for everybody that's going, I will see you in about 2 weeks. I think it's like 2, yeah, just some people are arriving in 2 weeks, but everybody I'll see is like 2.5 weeks. So yeah. So that's it for now. I hope everybody is enjoying the start of summer, and sorry if I'm nasally. My allergies have been like out of control, but that's just summer. It's been super rainy here, and we have a lot of farm fields around our house, and with all the rain, it was like a huge, like the farmers have not been able to get into the fields, so now they're kind of like plowing and seeding. So my allergies have just been like, they've just been wrecked because they let it go for so long. They were all weedy, so I can't imagine all the stuff that's being stirred up. But super happy they're finally in the fields. I felt super terrible for them because they were like right at the finish line there. They have to get it in by a certain date, and I think they were just about there. But we had storms come through. We had a neighbor had a tree fall on their house. Luckily we had no damage, but it's been crazy in the Midwest, but we're here, we're still kicking. So yeah, that was the longest goodbye ever as per usual. So yeah, I will cut myself off. I will see everybody soon, and everybody that's not going to StitchCon, I will see you back on here in hopefully about a month. Bye guys!